Okay, so I'm back. This is my next project. As you can see, I'm well underway. Little backstory. I had this locomotive wrapped up in bubble wrap in a container, and it ended up taking a nosedive. So what had happened was there was some small damage on the front cowcatcher pilot. So I'm going to repair the little bit of damage. There's a few small detail pieces missing, and some of the ribs of the cowcatcher are broken. I may change out the false coupler to a real coupler usable KD. But the whole locomotive is disassembled. It's a 260 Camelback. It's a Miano from the President's Choice series of trains. So I have it all dismantled. Since I'm going to repair it, I've decided I'm going to rewire it, replace the yellow LED with soft white, and upgrade it so it's ready for a decoder. And I may even install a decoder. So there's a little bit of work to be done, and once I get her all wired up, I'll start assembling. Hey again. I am back to my project here. I had to step away for a bit. So this is the 260 Camelback. Something that I learned about this when I took it apart, made by Miano. To save on manufacturing, it looks like they used the same cast from a different locomotive. It's got 2 domes, it's got firebox, and what they've done was they put a center weight over the dome, screwed up from the underside, and to cover the weight they put this cab over it to make it look like a Camelback. And then that more detailed firebox is covered up by this firebox, and it slides in through there, and then it looks like a Camelback. Saves costs on their end using similar molds, and then just modify by adding parts. Pretty cool. Made a little error. I went and I didn't locate the pilot 100% correct. But when I glued it, I wanted to make sure it was glued securely from the underside so it had more surface area. So these struts here, I'll end up having to re-drill a new hole and insert it, and it'll look fine. Anyway, I'm going to finish the assembly. It's all wired up, new LED, and the this screw on the front was a switch for the smoke. I eliminated that and wired it up so the decoder will become the switch for the smoke. So, alright, I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. Still working on the Camelback. I have the body all assembled back the way it was, and decided to remove the cowcatcher, the pilot, and reattach it to get the struts back in its original holes. I was going to re-drill it, decided not to. So now I got this glued back on and it's setting. Put the front wheels back on, and then I can go ahead and wire it up into the tender and install a decoder. Almost done. Okay, so I have the Camelback fully assembled with an operating knuckle coupler, and the wires are hanging out the back the black wires, left and right rail, the blue wire is the common, the white is for the LED, and the green is for the smoker. So now I'm going to focus on the tender. So I have that disassembled. The tender will pick up electricity as well, but this model has a truck mounted coupler, which I'm going to remove, but I'm not going to cut the mount off. I'm going to flip the wheels so the plastic washer type thing is on this side, and then I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees so they're back on the correct side, and then I don't have to cut that off, and then I can body mount a coupler to the tender, and then I can go ahead and install the decoder and wire it all up. Alright, so I'll be back. Okay, back at her. I mounted the rear coupler using hot glue and got it to a level where it was required, using my coupler head gauge, and to ensure that it will stay once the glue hardened, I just took a little screw and screwed it into the glue so the coupler won't be pulled off under load, hopefully. I got the tender base attached to the locomotive and all the wires threaded through. I just have to wire up the decoder and put the cover back on, and we'll be good for testing. Alright, I'll be back before I put the cover on.